I'm Jason. This is Build Apps Without Code, or BAWC for short, where I teach non-technical people like myself how to build apps, no code required. On my last Instagram clone video, I asked you to write YOLO in the comments if you wanted a part 4, and the YOLOs flowed. So let's keep going. Today we're working on creating and uploading a post. BAWCgram, part 4. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Go. Just before we start here, don't forget, if you go to www.buildappswithoutcode.com/Instagram clone and sign up, I'll send you the link to this exact bubble project we're working on in view-only mode. Let's do a quick recap. In part 1, we designed this home feed page. We got stories, we got posts, we got dogs. In part 2, we worked on navigation. This beautiful slide-in menu here we worked on. And a couple pages here that aren't complete yet, but we worked on navigating to these pages: activity, search, messages, profile. And one more thing we worked on in part 3. If I go to profile and log out here, we worked on this sign up page, logging in, an onboarding screen, forgot password. So here I can log in and I'm in. So if you missed part 3, it's somewhere on the screen here. Go back and watch it. Otherwise, moving on. So today we're working on creating and uploading a post. So basically, when you click plus and you click post, we're going to take you to a new page where you can upload a picture and add a description and post it for everyone to see. At this point, if you click any of these, nothing happens. We haven't set it up yet, so that's where we're going to start. And first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to open this index page up a little bit so I have a little more space. Minimum height right now is 400. Let's just do 1,000. That will give us some space to work with. And next thing, I need a group that we're going to use as our post group. And remember, we're stacking our groups on a single page and showing and hiding those different groups using page parameters and conditions. We talked about that in some of the previous videos in this series. So like I have this messages group, this activities group, and here's sign up and login, and these are all stacked on the page, hidden by default based on where you're navigating in the app. They show. So let's just take one of these, maybe the activity one is fine, and I'm going to copy and paste it so we can make a post group. So here I can just say copy paste, and now we have group activity copy. Let's hide the original one and change the name here. This is going to be group post. Okay, and this text object here is just a placeholder. I'm going to put post page just so we know we're on the right page when we test it. Okay, so we have our group post page now, but we need to navigate there. So when I click plus and click post, we want to open up that page. I'm going to open up the create floating group here, which slides in from the bottom. In here I have a group create inner. I'm going to start and edit a workflow there. So when you click on any of these rows in this repeating group, it's going to navigate to a new page. And since we're building a mobile app here and everything's on the same page, it's always index, but we are going to set a parameter. The key we're using is page, and we're going to just call it post. Now when we click on post, page equals post. That's what we want. A little more work we have to do here. First thing is we have to make sure it's only post that's taking us here and not real, story, or live. Because at this point, if you click any of these, it will take you to post. So go back to workflow, and I'm just going to put a condition on this workflow here. So click on the workflow itself and say only when current cells create menu is post. So this is only going to run when you click on post in that repeating group. Let's go home for now. If I click on plus, click on real, nothing, story, nothing, live, nothing, post. There we go. It goes somewhere. It goes to page equals post. Next thing we want to do here is we want to make sure that this post page or group is showing when the page parameter is post. So on the group, conditional Right now it's set to activity because this was copied from the activity page, but we're going to change this to post. Similar to all the other groups we've already set up in this video series, when the page parameter that we called page equals post, then this element is visible. Make sure that element is visible on page load is unchecked and collapse when hidden is checked. Heading back to our app here, if I go back to home, now I click plus, then I click post, it goes to the post page. However, when I click post, I want to make sure that this slide in menu slides back out and this darkness here lightens back up. It's basically going to be the same workflow as floating group darkness is clicked, because when I click this, that's what I want to happen, but automatically when you click on post. So I'm just going to go into here, copy, paste. So this one is animating the floating group create, so it is making it go down and out. And I also want animate floating group darkness. Copy that, and that's going to fade out the darkness so that it lightens back up. Try it out. Again, go back to home, plus, post. There we go.
Wow.
If we look at Instagram, you can see that the navigation menu at the top is actually different. So we need to hide this floating group we have at the top and create a new one that pops up when you're on the post page. We also don't need the bottom one. So first thing here, let's go into this floating group because we have some conditionals here to hide it under certain page parameters. So we didn't want it on sign up, onboarding, login, or forgot password. I'm going to copy this, paste again, and we also don't want it on post. Copy, let's open up nav bottom, which is right here, and do the same thing. Paste. Okay, so now when page equals post, that top and bottom navigation is hidden. Now we're going to create a new navigation menu. So let's just take floating group nav top, copy paste. We'll change this to floating group nav top post. Remove these conditions. What we want to do here is not visible on page load, only visible when the page parameter is post. Okay, we don't need any of this, and I'm going to throw in a text object, and this is going to say new post. Okay, in layout, not fixed width, no min width, fit width to content, no min height. And let's use our Robo 16. Actually, I want it to be a little bit bolder. I'm going to remove that style. So I'm actually just going to change this 400 to 500, so it's a little bit bolder there. That's good. We also need a share button. So copy and paste new post. And this one we'll call share. But I want share to be blue. Here's a blue color. And last thing we need is X. So let's copy and paste this again. On the one on the left, just going to type in FA. I think it's called remove. Yes. So remember, if you type in FA and then the name of the icon, then it will show an icon there. And we've talked about that in previous videos in this series. Okay, that could be a touch bigger. That looks good to me. And now I want to make sure that this post page is tight against the, I want to make sure that this post group is tight against the floating group here. So we're going to figure out how many pixels this floating group is in height. If I put my cursor here, I can see it says 45 pixels. See that in red? Right there. So on my post page, I'm going to go layout, and this is actually set to 50. So I'm going to close it up a little bit and say 45, and then it's nice and tight. That looks good. Let's make sure that this works. So when we're on home or activity or search or messages, then we have this top and bottom navigation menu, these two floating groups. But if we go to post, then it changes. We have a different one and the bottom one hides. Next thing we need here is a workflow on the X button, because this doesn't do anything right now. Click on X, Appearance, Start Edit Workflow. And for now, I'm just going to use navigation. I'm just going to say go to previous page. Nice and easy. So now wherever I was, it'll remember that page parameter and send me back there. So if I was on home and I clicked on post, now when I click X, it takes me back to home. But if I was on activity and I clicked post, clicked X, takes me back to activity. So in this case, we can use previous page. Next thing we're going to do here is add a file uploader. So you can actually upload a picture from either your computer, from your phone, or you can actually even use the camera on your phone to take a picture. We can take this off for now. In our group, we don't need this to be blue anymore. I'm going to grab a group here and throw it on the screen inside our post group. And this is going to be called group post upload. Okay, column layout should work. Not fixed width, no min width, min height, leave it 250 for now. And next I want, if I look in my list here on input forms, there's one called file uploader. There's also a picture uploader. They are similar, but a file uploader will allow us to do videos as well, and we might want to add videos to this down the line. Okay, we'll call it file uploader. Create post. And we'll give this some height here. Now, instead of copying Instagram's UI exactly, in this case, we're going to go off script a bit and create our own design. The Instagram upload page has a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to try to keep ours a little bit more simple. So when I'm looking for designs, usually I go to a website called dribble.com. Here it is, dribble.com, 3 B's. I'm not a designer, so if my creativity is particularly low, I come here for some design inspiration. So here I could say, I could search for like file uploader, for example. And I get some ideas for some file uploader designs. Let's check out this one. This looks pretty good to me. We could probably do something similar, like a dashed border and a progress bar. Take this file uploader here and let's style it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to remove this style. I do want some borders, so instead of solid, I'm going to pick dashed. Give it a little bit of width. Let's push down the text a little bit with some vertical padding. It's better. And we'll leave the color, but put a roundness on there. Let's try this out. And one more thing is a little bit of padding. So that group post upload, where this uploader is sitting in, just going to put some 20s padding on there. Cool, looking good. Now I also want a progress bar. If you go to plugins, I already have it installed here, but it's the Bubble plugin called Progress Bar. There's a couple other ones that you can try out, but I'm just going to use this one here, Progress Bar. Here it is. In my visual elements, I have Progress Bar. So let's grab a group first. And I'm going to drop it just above our file uploader, and we'll call this group post progress bar. This one I'm going to do align to parent, and I'll show you in a second why I want align to parent. Min width 0, 250 is good, and I'm going to replicate the border that we had on our other element there. Okay, that looks similar, and I want one more group in there. And drop right in the middle. Call it group post progress bar inner. This one will be column, and it's going to sit in the center here. So since I set the outer parent to align to parent, now I can choose where I want this inner group to sit. So let's grab the progress bar, drop it in here, progress bar post, and I'm just going to fix the layout for now. 25 height looks good. And I want a text underneath it that says uploading ... This will be fixed with the content and centered. And a little bit of gap spacing there on the inner group. Gap spacing maybe 20. That's good. And we want to close up that min height. Perfect. So now this group post progress bar inner, since I have the outer group as aligned to parent, now I can move this around like this. But I want it in the center, so that is good. All right, this progress bar, you need to set what percentage is it going to show. Well, it's going to be the file uploader create post upload percentage. Now, this progress bar group, I only want it to show when it is uploading, not before or after. So we need to set some conditions here. I'm also just going to update the style of that progress bar. So progress bar color, I'm going to set this to gray. That's cool, and a little more round. All right, and we need some padding. So this inner group here, layout, padding, we just need left and right, maybe 10. Looks good. So this group post progress bar, not visible on page load, collapse when hidden, conditional, file uploader is loading. So if the file uploader is loading a post or a file, then we're going to show this group with the progress bar. This element is visible equals yes. And this file uploader, I'm going to remove this condition here. This one we can keep for now, but I'm going to define another conditioner. When this file uploader is loading, this element is visible equals no. We don't want this to show if the file uploader is loading something. And in layout, collapse when hidden, yes. I think we can leave it visible on page load. So I click here, choose my file, starts uploading. There it is. That worked pretty well, except the picture isn't showing at this point. So we need another element to actually show the picture, because this file uploader doesn't show the picture. Okay, so we have this group that shows when before a picture is uploaded or when it's being uploaded. But we need a new group that will show when the upload is complete. Then it'll show the picture and give you the option to write a caption for the picture. Group post upload. This is only going to be visible if the file uploader does not have a file. File uploader create post, value is empty. Then the element is visible. Otherwise, not visible on page load, collapse when hidden. Okay, make sure that shows. Yep, and we load, progress bar goes, and then it hides. Great, because now we want a new group. So let's open up, here's our group post. So let's grab a new group and throw that in group post. Is that in the right spot? Let's see. In our element tree. No, it's not. We don't want it inside group post upload. We want it inside group post. So I'm going to drop it here. And this one will be called group post uploaded. Maybe we can name that better, but that works for now. Conditional. So this is going to be the opposite. So when file uploader create post value is not empty, then we show this group. Otherwise, not visible on page load, collapse when hidden. So here we need a picture element to show the file that we uploaded, just to give them a preview of what they're about to post. Scroll down, visual elements, image. Throw it in there. We'll call it create post preview. I think that makes sense. And it's going to be a dynamic image because we're going to show the file uploader value. So whatever value is in that file uploader, we're going to show in this picture element. We could also add a video element if we wanted the app to preview videos as well. But for now, we're just going to do pictures. Run mode rendering, I'm just going to use stretch, see how that looks. We can take off this height here now. So it just fits to the elements within the group. Same thing here, we don't need this min height anymore. And same thing on our group post. Take that off. Cool, it worked. We're gonna make this full width of the screen though, this picture. And then we need a caption text input underneath. All right, so our picture layout, this is not fixed width. So it's gonna be full width, minimum height 240, we'll try maybe 250. Okay, that looks good. Now let's put a text input underneath that can be used for a caption or a description. In this case, we want multi-line input. And we're going to drop it underneath the picture. Post caption. Placeholder can be write a caption. Vibrato 16. Maybe round it off a little bit. And a little more vertical padding, I think, just to push the text down a bit. That's cool. In layout, we want this to be not fixed width, 0 min width. So let's select group post uploaded because we need some gap spacing between the elements. Okay, so there's a little bit of spacing between the caption and the picture, and the multi-line input itself maybe it can have some padding. I want this post to be full screen, but the input to be some padding on left and right. So I'm just going to use margin. If I click on multi-line input, I can put left and right margin. And that will push it away from the borders a little bit. Looking good. Okay, at this point, if I click X and then I go back to post, this is still here, but I want to reset the data here. So I want to get rid of the picture and the caption if we X out. So back in workflows, we're going to go to our X button, which is here. And one more thing we want to do is reset a group. In the group, we want to reset group post upload. So this is the group that has the file uploader. We also want to reset the uploaded group as well because the caption is in that group. So let's just copy paste this. And we'll do reset the data in both groups. So let's try that. Golden Daisy for the 10th time. Okay, I'm ready to post. Oh, nope, changed my mind. I'm gonna X out. And oh, nope, changed my mind again. I'm gonna go back in and it's gone, which is great. And let's make sure that the caption is now blank. Yes, it is. Okay, last thing we need, share button. Click on share, start edit workflow. And what we want to do here is create a new post. So create a new thing, type post. The image of the post is going to be the file uploader. The caption It's going to be the multi-line input caption. And the user is going to be the signed in user, so I can just say current user. Okay, after the post is created, we want to exit out of that post page. So I'm going to reset relevant inputs. It says here it's my recommended next action, which is exactly what I want, and that's going to reset the inputs that I referenced here in the previous action. So the multi-line input and the file uploader, those will reset. And finally, I want to go probably back to the home screen to see the feed, maybe see my posts right at the top there. So go to page, index, where page equals home. This is one of my dogs. Let's upload my other dog. This is Ellie. How about Luna? It's my other dog, Luna. Okay, got my picture, got my caption. Click share. Takes me back. There's my picture in the feed. There's my caption. And we're done. And here's what it looks like on my phone. I can select click to upload a file, and since I'm on my phone, it gives me the option to take a photo or a video. So instead of choosing photo library, I'm going to say take photo or video, flip the camera, use photos, uploading file, selfies for the crew, share, and there it is. Might delete that one. I'm gonna stop here for today. Don't forget, go to buildappswithoutcode.com/Instagram clone and sign up, and you'll get the link to this exact bubble project. I saw some of you were creating users in here. Awesome. Now you can create posts. No profanity, please. Keep it appropriate. I appreciate you watching. If you learned something today, please subscribe. Lets me know that people are watching and gives me more motivation to continue to make these videos. And I have tons more bubble videos in the pipeline. So if you like this one, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the bell, you won't miss the next one. And if you want an Instagram clone part 5, write give it to me in the comments. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. You're awesome. Don't forget it. Much love. Peace.